Hello there, all you wonderful, beautiful ladies and gentlemen of the internet. It's me, your boy here, the Y2K reviewer. No longer known as Hazuki Warrior, but, you know, whatever. It was my name. It still kind of is. It's Danny, you know, that's my real name. Bringing you guys finally with part 3. Part 3 to video games I think you should play before you pass on, before you're out of this world, before you kick the bucket, before you die. Apologies, it took me like, what? 3-4 months to make this video, I think. Part 2 came out, I think, in April? Is that right? April, May, June... Oh, like 2 months. Okay, well, still, like, I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. And, before we get into everything, I want to do a handful of disclaimers. One, this obviously is not scripted, so I may stumble at times with my words. I apologize for that. I will try to be as clear as possible without rambling too much. I don't know. I hope you guys don't mind. I'm more of me being myself video without a script. And 2, speaking of that, I'm definitely going to try my darndest to not curse in this video, because I want this video to be shared with friends and family, and maybe there's someone who you're close to who is a family member or a very close child friend or whatever it is. Maybe you're just someone who you're not comfortable cursing on too much and you want to share this video with them. Whatever, you know, if I curse and you share this video with somebody, to that other person, just so you know, it's not the person's fault who's showing you this video. Just keep that in mind. It's my fault. I apologize. So, you know, it's all on me. It's not on them. And, I'll do my best to keep this as PG as possible. Because, again, these are video games that are universally, you know, can be experienced. Not all of them are, though. Some of them are T or M+ rated. So unfortunately, they're not attainable by literally everyone at every age range. Blah. But if you grow a happy, healthy life, eventually you get the chance to play these games. So they kind of are accessible to everyone. Just depends on your age range. So I only have a handful of family-friendly oriented games left. I think most of them are actually pretty mature in this video. Actually, I think it's half and half now that I'm looking at the pile. But let's get started with the first pick. It's not a franchise that I am personally too familiar with myself. It's a franchise that I'm very new to, and I'm enjoying it. And it was a big franchise back in my high school days, back in the 2010s, early 2010s to mid 2010s to 2015 or so. It's still pretty big today. It's a very beloved franchise. It's very iconic. It's very fun, and I do like these games. And that's none other than the COD series, Call of Duty. That's right, and I have a lot of them right here. I don't have Black Ops yet. I thought I owned them, but I don't have Black Ops. These are the COD games I currently own. I don't think I don't have 3 yet either. I don't have 3 yet. But I'm playing this one, the campaign, and it's really good. I saw the Acman's video on this game, saying it's like a masterpiece, and he's kind of right. I haven't got too far in it yet, but I'm really enjoying it. Call of Duty. It's a franchise that I highly recommend you check out if you haven't yet. Okay. Moving on to the next game. Here we go. Okay, I want to apologize because I kind of quickly brushed Call of Duty out of here. I know it's a very iconic, humongous, beloved franchise, like I said. My friends back in the day experienced it. They still play it today. I played Cold War on Xbox One with my friends. I loved it. It was great. I played Black Ops back in the day at this like therapy house I visited with a bunch of kids my age at the time. And it was fun, and I don't hate Call of Duty. I'm not against it. I just I'm not too experienced with it yet. It's just, it wasn't really my thing back then, and now I kind of appreciate it a bit more than before. I also dabbled a bit with the very first one. It's great. I like the series. I just need to get more into it. But for teach their own, right? Teach their own. So if you enjoy it, that's great. I'm going to keep enjoying it. Please give me your memories in the comments below if you love to do that. I'm totally happy with that. Go ahead and do it. All right. Moving on to now for sure the next franchise I'm going to talk about. It's 2 separate series, but they're both very similar and they had crossovers. And I'm going to kind of talk about them both in like one part of the video. And that, of course, it's a very iconic franchise on PlayStation. This series started on the PlayStation 1, and like Call of Duty, I think it's owned by the same company that publishes they are. That publishes Call of Duty games, and they can be played on any platform, whether it be PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, PC. Just a Call of Duty, well, except for Switch. I'm pretty sure these games are on Switch. I know one of them is. It's the Crash, Bandicoot, and Spyro the Dragon franchise. Specifically, the first 3 games. You should all definitely check out these games. These are some of the best action platforming games ever created. They're fun to play, they're well designed, check them out if you haven't. They're a great time. The only game I'm not a big fan of here is Crash 1, even with the remake. It's better for sure than the original, but dang, wow. They definitely did a lot better with the other titles. With Crash 2 and 3 and, you know, 4 and Twinsanity. Yeah, they, Naughty Dog picked up their game for sure. Even the first Dragon Daxter was a lot better. Which I might bring up that series in this video. I don't know. But Spyro the Dragon, I love all of these games. I haven't beaten any of the Spyro games yet. I've only beaten Crash 2 and 3, the originals. But, you know, I do love these franchises. I just can't, I don't know, with Crash 1, I just can't fully get into it. But Spyro's great, Crash is great. Please play these games if you haven't. I want another crossover, but, like, it's gotta be good, because the one in Game Boy Advance kind of stunk. But, anyways, moving on to the next franchise, or series. Here we go. Alright guys, this next franchise is another action platforming series while it was still on that subject. And it also originated from PlayStation and the Sega Saturn and maybe PC, I don't know. But it's a very severely underrated series in today's time. He's kind of a forgotten character that not everyone has truly forgotten. And this character, man, he did have a comeback and it was awesome and it kind of got forgotten about. And he's doing okay. I don't know. He's in a weird spot in today's time, but he's still a fairly recognizable video game character. And these games I'm holding are definitely ones you should play before you pass out if you have never experienced them before. And of course, I'm talking about the Rayman franchise. Rayman, yes, Rayman here. I don't have 3 anymore. I used to own it on PS2, but I'm going to re-grab it later. But Rayman, yeah, 1, 2, Origins, Legends, which is basically 4 and 5. Especially this game. Rayman Legends here. You gotta play Rayman Legends, guys. It is a good time. It's a fun time. These games are awesome. I haven't played Rayman 2 on PS1 yet, but I have it. I burned it for Dreamcast, and it's so good. What a great game. Oh my god, so much fun. I'm gonna play it on PS1 eventually. But yeah, Rayman's great. I love the series. Please play these games if you haven't. Rayman 1, though, however, has a similar problem to Crash Bandicoot. In order to beat this game, it's required that you 100% it, which is weird. But it's not, I know, I hate it when the game's designed that way. That's not good. Crash 1 isn't like that, but you can't die if you want to save your progress. It does have that going for it, which is not fun. But aside from the first title kind of nonsense, 2, 3, and 4, and 5 are at least good games. I haven't played much of 3 yet, but man, these games are great. Check them out if you haven't yet. I love Rayman. Awesome. Okay, moving on to the next series, so here we go. Alright guys, this next one is a really fun pick that is kind of hard to grab nowadays. It's PlayStation exclusive, I believe, to the 4 and then the 5. I don't know if the remaster's on PC, but this is a game you've got to experience if you ever get the chance to, at least on emulation or some way. Get the original copy if you can. Get it on PS3. I think it's on the PS3 store. It is. While that's still up. It's a classic. It's a genre. It, like, kind of create a whole new genre in gaming. It's iconic and it's fun. And I know it's one of those games that's not super accessible to get, but it's still something that if you can check it out, I recommend it. Parappa the Rapper. I love this game. Parappa the Rapper. This series is great. I also have the second one, which I should have grabbed it. It is right here. Here it is. Parappa the Rapper 2, baby. Yeah. Parappa the Rapper 1 and 2. Both great games. I love them both very, very, very much. They never made a third one, which is weird, but okay. These games, I believe, got remastered, and there's also Jim Lammy, I think it's called, which I don't own that game, but I have played it. Kind of difficult to get through compared to these ones, but they're good games. And if you, by chance, are interested, there's a somewhat equivalent game to this on the Dreamcast called Cool Toon. I don't know if you've been interested. That's not a very well-known game. It was only Japan exclusive, designed by SNK. It got translated to English recently. I have a version of it right here. So Cool Toon is in a very similar caliber as Parappa the Rapper. It's not the same series at all. It's like a spiritual successor. It's more so an inspirational title. It's an inspirational title to this game. All three of these games play very similarly. If what you're seeing on screen right now, you know, either me holding the games or playing gameplay footage or whatever it is I'm showing off right now, interests you at all, if any of this stuff you're seeing is like, oh yeah, I want to play that, check this kind of gameplay style out. It's awesome. Check these games out if you can. They're great. I recommend them. Okay, moving on to the next game series. Here we go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, while we're on the topic of somewhat strange but good and unique Japanese titles, since we just saw one, you know, Parappa, I think it's a kind of an appropriate time to talk about this franchise. This is very iconic. It started on the PS2. I feel like this series is pretty well known, but everyone watching this video is not going to recognize the series, but I think most viewers will. It's a beloved series. Like I said, it started on PS2. It's on multiple platforms, as you can see here I'm holding without revealing anything. It got released on 360, PS3, PS4. That is, of course, the iconic, the beloved, and weird, and awesome Katamari Damacy. The Katamari Damacy series. You've got to play the Katamari Damacy games. Look how many I'm holding. Look at this. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? I'm going to show some gameplay footage right here. Yes, Katamari Damacy. This series is freaking awesome. I love it. It's fun. It's weird. It's iconic. It's beautiful. It's forever. You know, it's a lot of things. I love it. You know, you play as the Principal Cosmos and his cousins, trying to make sure everything's okay with the universe, and his dad's just watching over everything. What a great series, man. Katamari Damacy, it's such a great time, you know, which is weird because each level, almost every level in every game has like a time limit, but it's still relaxing to play, even if you fail. And yes, there's even one on 360. I know, I can hardly believe it myself. And it should have been playable on Xbox One, and it's not. And I'm like, why the heck not? Phil Spencer, come on. Or Bandai Namco, whoever's responsible for not making this playable. Gosh, jeez Louise. God, jeez Louise. It's so frustrating. But if you can, please check out the first two. You know, they're actually designed by the original director, Katamari 1 and 2, and I heard from an old friend of mine, or one of my old managers, said that the main series director left after 2. And all these games feel very similar, so that's kind of hard to believe. They all feel like that the lead designer, the lead creative Katamari Damacy, he worked in all the games, but he didn't. They all feel like he did, but apparently he didn't. So I'm going to do some fact-checking on that and make sure to put it in this video if I remember to. But yeah, Katamari Damacy, great franchise. Check it out if you can. Love it. All right, moving on to the next series. Here we go. All right, well, I was going to wait till later to talk about this series, but I can't. It's too cool. It's too iconic, and it's severely underrated, and that's a criminal. That's a crime, guys. That's a criminal act. You gotta check these games out, man. And it's a shame SEGA did not make this game playable on Xbox One. It frustrates so many people, including Phil Spencer himself, and they should have. And this series has a spiritual third title that's not really a third game, but more of like its own thing. It started on the Dreamcast. It's, like I said, it's not very popular, but it's super worth checking out because these are two of the coolest games I've ever played in my entire life. But the first one is a little jaggy, and it does have some frustrating points. It has quite the handful of frustrating points. The first game does. The second one not so much, which is more of a reboot. Some of you out there already know what this is. It has amazing music. I'm probably playing some of it right now in this video. How can I not talk about Jet Set Radio, guys? The Jet Set Radio series. Look at this. These two games right here. 1 and 2. And Bomb Rush Cyberfunk, which is amazing. That's definitely the coolest game I've ever played. I got it on Steam recently. I'm having a blast playing it. I don't own a physical copy of it yet. I plan on getting it for Xbox if I ever get it. I've been meaning to. It just... I could not find one. It's like impossible to find one. There's a handful of them on eBay right now, so I might grab one soon. It's just, I just said, screw it. I bit the bullet, and I bought it on Steam while it was on sale. I'm enjoying it. It's a great game. I love Bomb Rush. It's so much fun. I want to get that physical copy when I can. Definitely the coolest game I've played. If these two games are not easy for you to find, that's completely understandable. This one should be super simple to play, though, on anything that can run Dreamcast games. As for this game's on Steam too. I forgot. The first one is. As for Bomb Rush, it's on every platform: Steam, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox X. You name it, it has it. Play it. Play this game. Bomb. I'll put the logo. I'll just slap the logo right here if I can find it. Bomb Rush Cyberfunk. I cannot express that enough. It's a very, very, very underrated game. I feel like nobody's heard of it. Just like these games right here. You've got to play them, guys. They are so flippin' worth it. It's a mix of Tony Hawk gameplay with graffiti and like amazing music and cyberpunk aesthetic. You've got to play. And it's cel-shaded graphics, like holy moly, and a really awesome story. I'm specifically talking about Bomb Rush, by the way. You got to play it. It is so worth it. Great memorable characters, great storyline. Jesus, what a game. You've got to check it out. Alright, moving on to the next title, next franchise. Here we go. Alright, folks. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. This next series is not for the faint of heart. It's not. It's very brutal. It's very grown up. It's very dark. It's very fun. It's very good. And it's just... It's a lot of people that love this series, including me. I'm very new to it too, just like the Call of Duty games, but I'm enjoying it. That, of course, has got to be... It started on the PS2. PlayStation exclusive franchise again. PlayStation exclusive franchise, I said. Okay. God of War. The God of War games. I have 4 and 5. They're upstairs, but here are the first 3. God of War. Great franchise. Please check it out if you have it. If you're 18 or over or whatever, if you think you can handle this kind of game, check it out, guys. It is definitely an awesome series. Very tragic, though. It's very sad, but it's good, and it's iconic, and it revolutionized gaming in some ways. It did. It like the way the game plays, with its combat system and everything. Check these games out. They're awesome. I love it. I love it so far. God was great. I've really only played the first one and a bit of 4, the PS4 title, but I'm enjoying it. It is good, and I gotta keep going because it is really good. Check it out, please. It's great. Okay, how is something a little bit more lighthearted after God of War? Okay, something very like a complete opposite contrast from what that is. So this is a licensed franchise. I was gonna wait to talk about licensed franchise games at the end, but this is a series that you don't just have to play these ones to like really get into it. There's like a whole... This is like its own genre kind of, because there's so many of these games. And this is where I started with this series, with this kind of style of gameplay. They all started for me. I was 10 years old, my 10th birthday back in 2004. Maybe I was turning 11, and I think it was my 11th birthday. I swear to God it was my 11th birthday. I think it was when I was 11, 2005, actually. Let me look. I don't know. Oh, yeah, I think... Oh. No, it was my 12th birthday. I don't know. It was around 2005, 2006. I don't think it was 2004. I don't think it was. I got this game for my birthday around that time, and I fell in love with it, and oh my God, it was like my bread and butter on the GameCube. Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy, was the game I'm talking about, and the first one too. They're both great games, and I'm not just talking about the Lego Star Wars series. All Lego games are pretty great. The Lord of the Rings, Indiana Jones, the Marvel games, the Lego movie game. I played some of those, but really for me, these are the ones that take the cake. They're great, they're fun, they're very nostalgic, and they're long. They take forever to get through the 100% everything, oof. But they're addicting, and you're going to really get into them if you play these games. There's so much to do, so much to see, so much to experience. I feel like if you're over, like, you know, teenage years probably, or like, I guess 13 or over, or something, or 14 or over, these games might not do it for you. They might be a little boring, because I'm playing these games again now as an adult, because I sold my GameCube and stuff off back when I was 20. That was almost 10 years ago. So I have not beaten this game since I had as a kid, and it is hard to get through it again at times. It is. It's kind of... It's not a bad game. It's just... I just feel like it's just not as captivating to me now as it was when I was younger. So, try it out on an emulator first if you can. Borrow a copy from a friend before you spend your hard-earned cash on a copy if you're an adult. They're not very expensive, though, so to each their own. But I'm telling you, if you're a fully grown-ass woman or man, and you have not played these games yet, I would wait a minute. So I'll hold off a little bit. But if you're a kid, or if you're, you know, a little bit younger than 15 or so, check these games out, guys. They're fun. They're good. They're a good time. They're a good first experience for any child. They really are. Yeah, Lego Star Wars. Awesome series. Okay, moving on to the next franchise. Here we go. Alright, guys. Time to talk about our next franchise, and things look a little different, don't they? Yeah, I changed my shirt, I washed my hair, or took a shower. Lighting might look a little different, the camera might look a little differently angled. I'm filming this on a different day because I have a job and a life outside of this. So, yeah, just please subscribe if you can, because I would love to do this kind of thing daily if I could. But right now, life does not allow that. Plus, I have a family to think about, so it doesn't cost you anything. It's completely free. Whether you like the content or not, I'd highly appreciate it. Please subscribe to the channel so I can do this more often and maybe even benefit you, the viewer, a lot more than you might think. So, please, guys, I would really appreciate it. Okay, anyways, the next series. This is an iconic series that started on the PlayStation, I think PC, and Sega Saturn. And the creator was actually a Sega fan, but the team that made the game convinced him to make it like a PlayStation franchise because PlayStation was doing better. So, yeah, true story. The director of this franchise was like, oh, it should be SEGA exclusive, and he said no, it shouldn't be because PlayStation's doing really well. He said okay, and it's one of the most iconic female video game characters of all time. It's an adventure series. I think you know where this is going to be going. It started on PlayStation. What else could it be other than the Tomb Raider series? Yes, the Tomb Raider games right here. I don't have the remake on Switch, but or the re-releases. But I hear the originals, and I haven't played these ones yet. But my wife loves these games. She grew up playing them with her mom and everything, and she told me all about it. But I'm more of a fan of the new ones, these ones, the new Tomb Raider series. I don't hate these games, the originals or anything. I like them, but I just haven't played as much as this. It's an iconic franchise. If you haven't played them, please do. I already talked about Uncharted, you know, and how they're very similar at face value, but really they are kind of completely different franchises. So please play them if you haven't. They're good games. I highly recommend them. Okay, moving on to the next franchise. Here we go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this next series is very iconic to Nintendo. It's a Nintendo IP. It's blowing up recently, which is great. There's a lot of sales for on Switch. All these games are on Switch currently. But as you can tell, I own the whole series on 3 different platforms. GameCube, Wii U, and Switch. So, one title at least got released on all 3 of these platforms. But they're all on Switch now. I think I talked about the first game earlier in part 1 or part 2, but I was just going to talk about the 4th one, but I think it's best if I just show all of them here. And that, of course, is, ladies and gentlemen, the Pikmin series, the Pikmin games, yes, especially 4, exclusively 4. I don't know, I just wanted a reason to show off all 4 Pikmin games. I have them all right here, look, right here. All of them for GameCube, Wii U, and Switch, like I said, all on their respective hardware with what they got released on. I'm still playing through 2. It's very long. I maybe skipped 2. I heard 3 was really great, and I'm getting into it, and it is good. But really, the one you guys should play is 4 here, Pikmin 4. Okay, and I'll try to show gameplay footage here if I can. Pikmin 4 is a great time. It's a good game. It's very well designed. I'm sure Miyamoto was very proud of the series now. I'm glad it's picking up. I really am. I love Pikmin games, and I'm going to keep playing them when I get a chance to. Alright, moving on to the next franchise, or example. Here we go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this next franchise is an amazingly good one that I am recently getting into. I especially love the 4th and 5th one, much like Elder Scrolls or Oblivion Skyrim. But these games are awesome. They started, I think, on the PS1. Yes, they started the PS1, made by Atlas. It's like Atlas's bread and butter franchise. Now SEGA owns it, which is cool, in my opinion. And I highly recommend this game. Sorry, I had an itch. They're good. They're awesome. Pick up any one of them and start. I think they're all. I don't know if all these games take place like in the same universe. I think they do, but it's all different like characters each time. It's like a different story. I don't know if it has like Final Fantasy rules, like each game is like in its own universe. I don't think so, but I'm not entirely sure. And that, of course, is none other than the Persona franchise. Persona. It's a great RPG series. I love it. If you don't like RPGs, this is a good first impression. Especially these 2 games right here. Persona 4 Golden and Persona 5. I don't have a physical copy for Golden, but here's the original. 3 is good. It just got remastered, and it's a recommendation as well. I haven't played the remastered yet, but 4 and 5 here, I love them. They're awesome games. They're very, like, they have down-to-earth slice of life moments too. They have very relatable characters, events, and moments. They're worth playing. They're worth it. Yeah, if you, like I said, if you're not really big on RPGs, and if you want to start something kind of simple, Persona 4 starts off pretty simple. Persona 5, it's a good. It has one of those openings where it's in the middle of the game or something, and like throws the action right at you. Then you play the opening later on. They're both really great. 3's good too, but pretty damn dark. So maybe hold off on 3 a little bit, but definitely check out Persona 4 and 5 and 3 if you want to. It's a good series. I highly recommend it. All right, moving on to the next franchise. Here we go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as you can tell, I'm holding a lot of games here in my hands. You probably saw what it was. I probably revealed it, but there's a lot. And they're white cases. What video game console has white cases? That's right, Nintendo Wii. This is a franchise I feel like you should check out, but there's 2 games here specifically that I think people should definitely play. This is a very iconic series to the Wii. In fact, the name of the console is in the title, so it's basically the Wii Series games. Yes, the Wii Series games. You play as Mii's, or you play as we play as your Mii's. These games. Okay, get out here, Wii Music. Not Wii Music. No. But these games. These games, yes, definitely. Wii Sports Resort, which I have a fancy case for Wii Sports right here. Wii Sports Resort. Wii Fit's pretty fun, but I recommend the Wii U version if you have one. Now, the games I specifically want to focus on, though, that I think are tons of fun, that I think any family member would enjoy with their friends and family. You know, anyone would enjoy with anybody. Well, it's kind of 3 games, but really it's just 2. Are the Wii Play and Wii Party games. Wii Play and Wii Party, yes, right here. And if I remember to, I'll try to show gameplay footage. These games are fun, they're awesome. My family and I have had a great time playing Wii Party here. We had a fun time. Scott Wozniak, man, he highly recommended this game. He was right. I did not grow up with these games. I grew up with Wii Fit and Wii Sports, and I was like, no. Like, mostly Wii Sports, and me and my family were like, this is dumb. And my parents, man, they should have picked up these games. Wii Play and Wii Party, because they're really fun and really good, and we would have had a great time playing them together, but they didn't. And I mean, my family, as of now, that I, helped create, we do love these games. We do. They're fun. So, yeah, guys, like, they are good games. And again, please subscribe to my channel so I can have more time to play games with my family, because, I want to do this as a living. Anyways, I'm sorry. I know. I keep saying that, but it's true. Plus, I want to be able to do more. I talked about all that stuff in another video. Okay, I apologize. I'm sorry for the shameless plugs, but there's more to it than that. I already said what it is. Alright, moving on to the next franchise. Here we go. Things are going to be a little bit darker from here because I'm going to talk about some horror games. So, moving on to that. Here we go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, now we're moving on to horror-esque or scary-esque games. Games with horror elements in them or fear elements in them. And there's another franchise I meant to grab. I'll grab it in a little bit that I think everyone should play as well. That it's definitely it's like an action horror, I guess you could say. And this first game definitely is that element, and it has more to it than that. It's also very like it messes with your brain. It's like a brain, series, and it's really good. Sorry, I just had some lunch. It's a really good series. It's 3 games long. I don't think there's ever going to be a 4th one because it's pretty, like, big for what it already is. The Bioshock games. Bioshock. Yes, I'm talking about Bioshock, guys. This is a iconic series. Everyone back in the 2010s, late 2000s played this game and talked about it and raved about it. They were claimed to be some of the best games ever made. Now they're just kind of done. No one ever talks about them anymore. I haven't finished them ever. I've only played 1 in the beginning of Infinite. That's it. I'm still playing through these games. I know. After this, I might play more because it's such a great series. I really should be playing more tonight. I have a lot of games on my backlog. I need to catch up on them. Bioshock is definitely one of them. So check out the Bioshock games if you haven't. They're great. They're iconic. Check them out. They're awesome. Okay, moving on to the next series. Here we go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this next game franchise is also on the Xbox 360 and on PS3, I believe. The first game got a really great remake just last year, I think it did. And this is also one of the best horror franchises games ever. At least the first 2. The third one I've heard is abysmal. It came out 2000 something. I don't know. It's a great game. I highly recommend it. I'm still playing through it. It's pretty freaky. It's a pretty freaky game, but it's really good. And that is none other than the Dead Space series. Dead Space, yes. You should definitely play these games. Again, this is the horror section of the video, okay? So Dead Space is definitely a game I highly recommend you guys check out. Franchise if you're, 18 or older or something. But it's a good series. This is really intense. Like, I'm new into horror, and this is like, oh my god. Like, it's good. It's really it's an awesome game. Playing as Isaac Newton and kicking ass and just killing all the monsters and aliens. It's awesome. It feels good to play, but it can keep you like, oh! It can make you jump at times. It's a pretty scary ass series, but it's good. It's good. Sorry for saying ass a few times, but okay. Moving on to the next series, which is also going to be kind of a big, scary one. You know what? Actually, I'll say that to later. I already talked about Resident Evil. I know I did in another part, but this is... I'm gonna move on to something that's not quite as iconic, or no, it's definitely an iconic game, but it's not too big and popular in today's time in the gaming industry. So moving on to that game, and then okay, just moving on. Here we go. Okay, folks, this next game debuted on the SEGA Saturn and the 3DO, two consoles that some of you out there, in fact, a lot of you out there, might have never even heard of. This is a very obscure title, but it's a game that everybody in the world should absolutely play at least once, because it's basically a 2-hour movie. It's a one-and-done sit-down and play-through game. It's really well designed. You can't pause it, though. You have to keep going, but like, if you like take a break for like 5-10 minutes, nothing bad will happen to your character in the game. That's a big part of why I think everyone should play, because it's like one of those games that's designed in such a unique way that no other game really copied ever since. Designed by the late Kenji Ino. This is his debut. This was like his big debut into gaming. It's called D. Yes, the letter D. Just Google search D Saturn or D Kenji Ino. It's on Steam, and it's really hard to find. This game is on Steam. It is. And you can't, it's like you have, if you just search the letter D, it's hard to find, but that's what the game's called. The letter D. That, yeah, no other subtitle. That's its actual name. So if you want to find this game and play it, good luck. If you want to purchase it and you know, and support the team that owns it. It's a great game. I highly recommend it, please. It's so well done. It's not jump scary. It's more just like horror imagery, and Kenji Ino, man, he was a true genius. I just want to talk about this game, because this is a game I definitely feel like everybody on Earth should try at least once to know why it's so important. And this game deserves more praise. It gets all the praise. It's getting all the praise that it can get, but like it deserves a lot more, in my opinion. It's very underrated. Like me. Yeah, well, remember, please subscribe, so, you know. So more people can hear about D. So there you go. There you go. There you go. Alright, moving on to the next franchise. Well, actually, I'm going to say that one for the very end of my horror section. Moving on to another game, which is kind of a franchise. Here we go. Okay, folks, this next game I feel like it's in the middle with its popularity. It's like half underrated, half not, half rated just appropriately. It's a franchise that a lot of people are definitely familiar with. I had no idea what this was when I was a kid. It debuted on the Xbox 360. I'm finally playing it, and it's such an awesome game. And for the fact that he plays a writer is even better, because I love to write. It's my passion. Besides doing this, besides YouTube, I'd love to make stories. I'm trying to become an author. Excuse me, I've talked about this multiple times in my videos by now. You know, I'm in the process of doing that, so it's very relatable to me. However, I never had my girlfriend or wife kidnapped, so it's not too relatable. You probably know exactly what this game is. It starts with an A. It's the name of the main character, and the sequel finally came out for PS5. It was digital only. Everybody was mad about that. Then they got a physical copy. None other than Alan Wake. Alan Wake is an awesome game. I completely forgot about it while filming for Part 1 and 2. I didn't even consider talking about it, and then I was like, I should, because I do feel like this is a game everybody should play. Unfortunately, just like other games, it is Xbox exclusive. I don't know if this game is on Steam now. It probably is. In PS3 or 4. I would assume it is by now. I don't know. I didn't look into it. But it's a good game, and it's very cheap. So if you have the funds, it probably costs you less than $100 to pick up an Xbox 360 and play this game. I don't know. But play it. It's good. And I can say that a lot of games in these videos. Okay. Again, I'm not against simulation, even though I don't technically condone piracy. I honestly don't really try to give a shit, because in fact, most of the time, the developers don't give a shit about that. They just want you to play these games. So do I. I'm the same way. I'm an artist. I play them. Okay, moving on to the next example. Here we go. Okay, so I was going to originally save this one for last, but I feel like it's important to save the... I have two more franchises or horror-related games to talk about, and I feel like it's more important for me to save the other one for last, because it's not really about the horror aspect, but this one definitely is, and there's more to it than that. This is just a really great iconic series. I forgot I own like all of them. Actually, they're all right here, and I haven't played them much because they are really freaking scary games. And for me, I'm not that big into horror. I have to be like in the right headspace to play these games, and it's kind of like with me. I'm also getting into Berserk, which is a great series, but it's the same kind of idea. I have to be like in the right headspace to get into that, because I have a tough time experiencing really good stories with traumatic events for the characters where just awful shit keeps happening to them. So it depends on what it is, but that doesn't mean it's bad and I'm not going to be able to enjoy it. It's just, it can be tough for me to enjoy it. And this is definitely one of those franchises, but I still want to praise it. I still will say you should try it out at least once, see how you feel about it. Even if it terrifies you, I can guarantee you might end up liking it and try it later. The Silent Hill games. Yup, Silent Hill. How can I not mention Silent Hill when it comes to horror? These games define gaming horror. These are the most scariest, freakiest games ever made in the horror gaming industry. They are. They really are. I mean, look at that freaking cover for Silent Hill 3. Look, that's terrifying. Oh my god. That's so scary. Jesus Christ. Alright, there's that. And then Silent Hill's US cover kind of sucks. I know, but it's still interesting. But these games are so good and creepy. I really like them, but I've only played 1 and 2. I haven't even beaten them yet. I'm still playing through them. I bought these games before COVID. They're both, I think, $10 or $20 each. And they ain't the price no more. So if you're gonna play these games, emulate them. Emulate them or play. I would say get the PS3 360 remasters. I think the 360 one has more patches to it, but be careful because they're not perfect. Are they in Steam? They gotta be in Steam. I'm sure they're in Steam. If you have Steam, if you're watching this on the PC, play them on Steam. If they're on there. If not, good luck finding a way to play them, either through emulation or something. I don't know. But yeah, Silent Hill. It's a great franchise. Please check it out. And the reason why I saved the second to last is because, again, I don't have a big experience on this series, but the next game I definitely do. And we're going to get into it, so here we go. So this next game, millions and millions of people have already played it, or thousands have at least. It's a humongous deal for the PlayStation. You probably know what this is. It's not a PS1 game. It's a PS3, 4 game. Y'all know what this is going to be. It won a lot of games. It won over 200 Game Awards apparently, and it's really good. And I still love it. It holds up really well. But a lot of you out there will argue, and it's true, that it's only worth playing once through. There is some truth to that because it's very objective. If you want to experience this game more than once, it's up to you. It is pretty hard to get through. It's a very emotional and a very emotional, tough game. And that's none other than The Last of Us. That's right, The Last of Us. I think you knew this was coming. The Last of Us. Yes, I had to talk about The Last of Us. It's definitely a game everybody on Earth should play. I was saving it near the end of this series to talk about it. Because it is really important to talk about, and it's really good, and I think you should check it out for sure. It's not for everyone, and I don't think every game should try to be like it or whatever. I once knew this guy who was so against this game in Uncharted. He was like, every game's trying to copy it and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that's not fully true. He had a very weird, close-minded view on the world in general, in my opinion, but I get where he's coming from. A lot of people are sick of this kind of style of gameplay and franchise, and I get that, but like, every game is still trying to be its own thing instead of trying to come on top. I mean, look at Baldur's Gate 3, for crying out loud. That was a humongously different kind of thing. That's a very different type of game compared to The Last of Us. And now a lot of RPG developers are like, shit, what are we going to do? So it's like, not every game's trying to be like The Last of Us, is what I'm trying to say. I don't think that's fully true, but it has influenced a lot of games, and that's okay. But for everything before it that can't let up to it is important as well. And there's another franchise that I feel should be more impactful on the gaming industry that unfortunately it isn't. That's the last franchise I'm going to talk about. And you might know what it is because it's my favorite game ever, but we'll get to it at the very end. So, The Last of Us. Play it, please. It's a great series. I haven't played Part 2 yet. So I don't know, at least the first game. I know Part 2 has great gameplay elements. I haven't touched it yet, but Part 1 is awesome. So I do own Part 2. I'll get to it when I can. I'm actually still playing through this one. I haven't beaten the PS4 version yet. I sold off the PS3 version, and I lost the save date a long time ago, so I'm playing through this first, and then we move on to Part 2. Okay, moving on to the next game series, which I think now I'm going to talk about a few fighting. I'm going to talk about some fighting games, and then I'm going to transition to licensing games. A few of them I think you should play. In the very end, we're going to talk about my favorite franchise. So 3 categories left to go, kind of. So here we go. Oh, wait. And one more unique title. Oh, okay, hold on. Here we go. Okay, so I lied a little bit. I'm sorry. We're not doing funny games yet. I got a couple more to talk about first. This is a unique, strange one that I talked about in my Dreamcast video. And a lot of people who have not watched it, some of you out there have definitely not seen that video yet. You know, it's becoming kind of my most. Well, some of you out there have not seen it yet, so I'm sure. So if you want more context of this game, I kind of show more of that video, but really there's just information about it online. It's gonna look weird to those who don't know, but I promise you, this is one of the best games I have ever played. It's the only video game I've ever played that I needed to play it every single day, just for 5 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes a day of your time a day. Just check out this. It's an animal. This game is taking care of a pet. That's the game. Literally freaking speaking. If you already own pets, if you have kids, you know that every single day they need your attention. This game is designed the same kind of way. Only for a little bit of time though, since it's just a video game. It's just for a little bit of time. You don't need to give them more attention in 2 to 5 minutes since they're not real breathing creatures. But when you play it, you're like, you still feel like, yeah, they need my attention. This is a really great game. It's also an animal that kind of becomes your friend as you talk to them, because you can speak with them. It's exclusive still to the SEGA Dreamcast, and I think it came out on the PS2 over in Japan. But here in America, here the good old US of A. If I can even freaking say that with everything that's going with the world right now. Anyways, here in America, this game is still exclusive on the SEGA Dreamcast, and SEGA themselves, I think, still own the licensing. It should get ported to Steam. It should get ported to Xbox, PS5, Switch. I don't know about Switch, but at least Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation. It should be ported on modern platforms. Seaman. I'm very passionate about this game. That's what it's called. Seaman. You talk to this thing right here, a humanoid fish. Yes, I know. He evolves. He starts off as a tadpole, and he becomes a frog, and he becomes a fish. This is a really great game. It comes with a meal that goes into it. It's also a bit of a. It goes into like an urban legend about this guy who, oh god, what was his name? Gasset, yeah, I forgot his full name, but I think it's Jean-Paul Gasset, I can't remember, but this guy who basically tried to crack the code for reincarnation, I think, and it's this whole thing. It's real history, by the way. This game does touch on that a bit, and it's like, what the fuck? But really, this game's main focus is about this creature, the fish guy, and he asks you about your life and your family and friends, and it's an old Dreamcast game. Okay, this is 1999 technology, 2000s technology, early 2000s. This is 6th generation of gaming. Okay, there's no way on earth anybody has any way of knowing what you tell this fish but the fish itself. You know, yes, the Dreamcast did have online functionality, but this game does not give that information out or anything. It's not like that. No. Hell no. This is before all that stuff. So check it out. Play it on the emulator if you can. PewDiePie, the most popular YouTuber ever, or most well-known, played this freaking game. He showcased this game. He knows. He knew this game is special. He showed off to the world because it is. The angry video game nerd, James Rolfe, one of the most iconic content creators ever, did a review of this game. He did a review of this game. So with that being said, please, ladies and gentlemen, check out Seaman. I recommend it. A lot of people will have recommended this game. I'm no different. It's definitely one of my favorites on Dreamcast. Now moving on to a few more Dreamcast games, and then, okay, here we go. That's it for Seaman. Check it out. It's great. And also, I'm sorry. One last thing. I did mention that it does take at least 5 minutes to play this game for about 1 month. You need about 1 month of time to get to the very end of this game, and you have to make sure that your clock battery is good to go. Or play this on emulator because it takes care of that for you. You have to play this game at least once a day. Doesn't matter what time of the day it is, but you have to make sure that the clock with this game is synced to whatever you're playing it on. Because if it's off, your fish could die, and you should start all over again because it's like, oh no. So if you want the full experience done just right, like that may sound like a lot to some people, but it's not as freaking bad as it sounds. Just go through it, and it's barely a hassle. It's barely a hassle. If you don't want to play it on the Dreamcast, if you have a PC, it's strong enough to run emulators, which in this day and age you absolutely should. If you do have a PC, that should be enough for you. As long as you have a microphone, you're good to go. Alright, moving on to the next game. Here we go. Okay, alright then. Okay, now finally down to my last categories in the video. This next one's going to be about fighting games, so I'm going to talk about 2 fighting game franchises. One of them is another Dreamcast classic that only got ported on the PSP. So weird. There's a lot of great Dreamcast exclusive games that got ported, but not really, and some you should definitely play on only hardware. Or if you can play them at any port today, that's great. So just do it. Play them, please. Like same thing with the PS2, because I know. Okay, whatever. And there's a lot of great games that got ported on other platforms, so you should definitely play. So next one is Power Stone 1 and 2. Two of my favorite games of Dreamcast. They're easy to pick up and play. And I don't know if we're talking about Marvel vs. Capcom, but that's another one. That collection's coming on Switch, so play that. But these games right here, you should play them. There should be a collection on Switch. I don't know why there isn't yet, but please, please, please play Power Stone. It's a great series. It's simple to understand. If you now a big part of why I'm recommending this is because this is a game that's like other games we talk about in this video, like RPGs or action platforms. All it takes is just one game to like really get into like. To get into the genre. All it takes is just one game to like the genre. If you don't like horror games, if you don't like action games, if you don't like, fighting games, if you don't like whatever kind of game, play one of the games you're talking about and you're like, okay, actually I like this genre now. Power Stone's so different. This is like a good first fighting game experience. They're fun, they're well designed. They're not made by SEGA, they're made by Capcom. Capcom and SEGA is a great combination. They make great games. Even today, Capcom's both SEGA and Capcom are fixing their image and coming out with great content. Play Power Stone, please. Good series. Okay, moving on to one of my favorite gaming franchises. Now, okay, guys, as you can see here, I'm holding a ton of PS2 games. So this next franchise is a really blast fun one, and you don't really have to be a fan of the series to enjoy these games, but it helps if you are, because this is definitely for people who understand it. But this is not the first best impression, I feel like, on that said franchise, maybe. But if you don't know anything about it and you just play these games, it's not really a bad one. They're fun, they're iconic on PS2. I'm definitely going to talk about these games more in my PS2 video in the future. I'm talking about none other than, they're based off a manga / anime series. I'm talking about none other than, I can't believe I'm actually, okay, screw it, I'm just kidding you, because I can't believe it. The Dragon Ball Z games. Budoki, Tenkaichi, and Budokai. 1, 2, 3, Budokai, all 6 of them. All 3 Tenkaichi, all 3 Budokai games. Dragon Ball Z, Budokai, Tenkaichi. Fun-ass experiences. Play these games. They're good. If you don't like Dragon Ball Z, it doesn't matter because the gameplay is good just the way it is. It's a good series. It's a good game. I recommend it. The one, if I had to pick one, I had to pick just one, this is the GOAT. This is the king of Dragon Ball Z games, right? For right now, it kind of is. Play it. It's a fun experience. It's good. Tenkaichi 3. It's expensive, I know, but you can emulate it. I think it's cheaper on the Wii. Play this game if you can. It's a great experience. It's a great experience. All these games are. I love them. I love them. I've only beaten so far just these 2. No, wait. No, I haven't. No, I'm sorry. These ones right here. Budokai 1. The first one and the very last one. Budokai 1 and Tenkaichi. I am going to finish these ones, don't worry, but these are the best ones to play. They really are. Okay, well they're all great. Now, this next game is still Dragon Ball Z related, and with the recent passing of Akira Toriyama, may he rest in peace, the creator of Dragon Ball, and I made a whole video about that. Multiple Dragon Ball videos around that time, like 4 or 5 of them, I think, just big length ones and some smaller ones. This next game is about this story of Dragon Ball Z and Goku and his friends and family. And I feel like it's a very important game for people to play today if you want to know the story. I had this game in mind all the way back in part 1. I was going to talk about this game at the very end because, and this is before Toriyama passed away. So for the fact that he did now, I think it's fairly more important that I do talk about Dragon Ball Z, which I just did. This isn't the best Dragon Ball Z game or anything like that, but it's definitely a game I feel like everyone on Earth should play to help understand the story and why it does help show people in general what makes Dragon Ball Z so important to a lot of people. It does a good job of showing it's like an abridged version of like the manga and anime. Unlike DBZ abridged itself, though, is not like does not have the same heart as the actual story. It's fun. I love Dragon Ball Z abridged. It's a good series. But it does not have the same heart as the original. It's its own fun thing. This isn't. This has the same heart as the original. That, of course, is Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, and I have a different fan art for it that I found online because I thought it was very fitting. But here's what the actual game tasting looks like. Well, here's the disc. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Yes, this game right here. Please check out if you haven't. It's got a lot better since its initial release with its updates and everything. It's not the best Dragon Ball Z game, but it's kind of becoming more and more of that with its new like content and everything. It is good, but I can't wait for Tenkaichi 4 or Spirtual 0, which probably will be thrown this game. But check it out, please. It's a great series. Okay. That's it for Dragon Ball Z games. I have 2 more licensing franchises I want to talk about, and then three more. And then finally get on to my #1 series. So here we go with that. Okay, guys, this next franchise is on the original Xbox. This is my first licensing games. I'm going to tell you what. I talked about 2 of them earlier in the same franchise, but they're very different caliber, which is why I brought them up in this video. And it's an RPG series, and the next 2 are superhero related, but this one's RPG related. And it's from probably the most iconic movie franchise in the world, made by BioWare, originally on the OG Xbox. I don't think wasn't it an exclusive? Maybe it was on the PC too, but anyways, I'm talking about Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic, KOTOR. I have the first 2 right here. Also, Battlefront is another side recommendation, but I don't have it. But play Battlefront 1 and 2, the OGs on Xbox, and these games, and PS2. And GameCube, I think. But these games, great experiences. I'm still playing through 1. It's a great game, made by the same guys that made Mass Effect, another franchise I talked about earlier. I don't know if I talked about Jade Empire, but that's another good one. They also made that game. BioWare, man, they make, like, besides my other favorite game of all time, they make games very similar to that game. But, it's kind of, which we'll get into that later, but BioWare is a good company that makes really good open world type experience games, but they're not quite as good as what I'm going to get to, and we'll get into that when I do finally. And I made videos about this franchise already, but not this one, not Star Wars. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic is a good series. Please play it. I'm enjoying it. Check it out. It's really awesome, awesome stuff. Okay, moving on to the Sith. Ooh, it's called the Sith Wars. Ooh, second of this. I did not know that. Awesome. Moving on to the superhero games, and then we'll get to my #1. Here we go. Alright, guys. At the time when these games were coming out, these were my favorite games back in high school. 2 of them, and they're my favorite games on the Xbox 360 in general for a while. But they're not like, they're not from a franchise that originated in gaming. They're for a franchise that originated in comic books. It's a comic book pop culture superhero character. Well, these are the best games from like I said, character made by Rocksteady. I think you know where this is going. Yes, I recommend you guys play these games, even if you don't like the character or anything. These games are awesome. The Batman Arkham games, specifically the first 2, Asylum and City. Fun, amazing games. I'm revisiting them because again, I lost my save data way back when. This is on my consoles back in 2014. I've been playing these games again since. I know I've been sleeping. I'm slacking. There's a lot of stuff coming out, and I catch up. I'm on my backlog. But these games are so much fun. I love Batman Arkham and Arkham City. Great games. Highly recommend them. Please play them. I played the hell out of Arkham City back in high school. I praised this game like it was nobody's business. My friends are like, Assassin's Creed's the best. I'm like, no, it's not. This game is the best. This is the best game right here. This is actually the Game of the Year edition that comes with all the DLC. And I don't like that you can't play these games on Xbox One. Like, why are the originals not playable? That's Warner Brothers being like that. Because like, oh, we got to play the re-releases on Xbox One. No, just give us access to play these. Whatever. It doesn't matter anymore. They didn't do it. Okay, moving on to my other favorite superhero gaming franchise. It's very recent, and you're gonna know what the hell it is because it's so good. I can't wait to talk about it. Moving on. Here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you see the blue. You see the blue. That means this is either a PS4, PS5 series, or both. Very recent. Came out just last year. The second one did. This is easily my current favorite PS5 game. Sort of. It is up there. It's definitely my favorite superhero game. And wow, what an experience these games are. I loved all 3 of them. I finished all 3 of them. And damn, I'm still playing through them from time to time to 100% them. I'm, of course, how can I not mention these games in my licensed games section of games I think everybody should play. That's the word games a lot of. I'm using the word games a lot here. That's not on the Insomiac's very own Spider-Man games. Yes, the Spider-Man games. All three of them. Don't skip Miles Morales. It's not just like, oh, it's DLC. No. It's its own story. Please play it. These games are so great. I love Spider-Man 1. All three of them. Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and 2. Especially this game, guys. Like, don't skip 1 and 2. Just play this game because it helps enhance experience. This right here, I'm telling you, if you're a Spider-Man fan, this is a little bubble area I'm going to do for Spider-Man fans. If you are a Spider-Man fan, okay? This is like seeing a start to middle to end, long-running comic book Spider-Man series brought on the screen. That's what this fucking game is, okay? That's not for but this freaking game right here is like a really well thought out, written Spider-Man comic book storyline brought onto the screen for you. Like one that lasted like 5 to 10 years that was really, really well thought out by writers and is put into a video game. This is the best Spider-Man content I have ever seen on screen. This is so good, highly recommended. Please play it. Wow, it's so good. It's so good. The acting, the characters, the story, it all came together so well. The gameplay mechanics, everything about it. But don't skip this one, because I feel like if you played these games, I feel like if you play one and the first two, it will help enhance that experience for this game right here. And that's how I feel about my favorite game ever, which I think is next. I think we're finally at the end. We're finally at the end, guys. Oh, thank God. I'm ready to... I'm really tired. I'm ready to stop filming. But I'm having fun making this video. I am having fun. I just need a break. Woo! Man. Alright, moving on to finally the grand finale of my video. I'm really excited to talk about this franchise. No transitions. Let's just get right into it. This is my favorite game of all time. A game that absolutely everybody in the world should play. I was being around the bush long enough. Thank you so much to Adam Koralik on YouTube, which I've referenced him before. I might share a picture of him here. Do his name here. And check out his freaking channel if you haven't. He's awesome. Adam Koralik, Johnny Millennium, the Happy Console Gamer. These two wonderful, beautiful gentlemen, which I have referenced Johnny a lot. The whole reason why I'm making this trilogy of videos is because of Johnny. He made his own big games that should play before he died. I could not help but like, man, oh my God, how can I not play these games? The best games of all time right here in my hands, guys. Nothing else beats this. I'm telling you, if you have the only people who disagree are the people who haven't played them to the end. I'm fucking saying it. Shenmue is definitely my #1 in this series. I saved it to the very end. If you know me, if you find this channel, you know this is coming eventually at some point. Shenmue 1 and 2 and the third game too. For true Shenmue fans, you guys appreciate this game, okay? I know they do. Shenmue 1 and 2, man. Yes, the best games ever made. Now here's the thing, I said this countless times in videos. Pay attention to what I'm saying, please. Alright? Even if you have this on the background, that's fine. That's okay, nothing wrong with that. Not every game we're talking about is made for everybody. And these games are no different. However, these games teach you how to be patient, and these are the most believable games I've ever played in my entire life. Maybe not 3's engine's different from the first 2, so definitely, we're going to talk about 1 and 2 for big, okay? It has the best combat system I have ever played in a game because it feels like actual martial arts when you play it. Events don't just happen, sometimes you have to wait for them, just like real life. It's a game that like simulates reality like perfectly. And like I said, the only other company that I can think of that has come close to making games similar, and I say that very loosely with quotation marks, similar to Shenmue 1 and 2 here, is BioWare. With Mass Effect and Jade Empire and Star Wars, yeah, they have similarities, but